What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Borne by Jeff Vandermeer. So, guys, this book was given to me by my buddy Noah Warnock. Big shout out to my buddy. Anyway, so last year I read Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, and it really was one of the most crazy, fucked up, weird, cerebral reads I had that year. And it really pushed Jeff Vandermeer up in the standings of authors for me, especially within the science fiction realm. I was excited to get into this book, and I knew a little bit about it, but not a lot. And after getting into it, I would say that Jeff Vandermeer is still bringing the craziness, though I also think that he's found a way to reel his storytelling in a bit and make it more digestible for the reader. Let's get into it. Okay, so Borne takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. It's set in the future, and things are just not all right. Pollution and just, things have gone awry. The world is in bad shape, and people are to blame. Human beings have just treated the place like trash, and now that's what they're living in, trash. Now, there's also a mysterious company or organization known as the Company, and this business is definitely fast-forwarded the decline here, but by all means, it still really shines many lights on the fact that human beings as a race have really failed themselves as well as every other living creature on the planet, and now things are just plain fucked up. So throughout the story, we will follow the main character of Rachel. Now, Rachel is a scavenger. She goes out every day searching for food, searching for lost pieces of biotech left by the mysterious company. And at the end of the day, she comes home to her abandoned apartment complex known as the Balcony Cliffs. Now, here at the Balcony Cliffs, she has her lover, Wick. Now, Wick is kind of a mysterious dude. As we push forward through the story, we will begin to kind of unravel the mystery that is Wick, but one key factor to know about him is that he is a former employee of the company. Now, living in a post-apocalyptic setting would be, horrible as it is, worrying about starvation, but Wick and Rachel have a much bigger problem than that, always looming outside their door. And now this, of course, what I'm talking about is a bear named Mord. Now, Mord is not just your average bear. He is huge. Mord is about 3 stories tall, and he can fly. That's right. Mord is basically, a product of the company. Once he was made, he was used as protection for the company. But Mord has a mind of his own at times, and he is vicious. So every time that Wick or Rachel steps outside the safety of their, Balcony Cliffs door, they got to face Mord. And trust me, this is a scary motherfucker. One day, while Rachel is out scavenging, she comes across a being, or a creature, or a thing, or something, right? Because she doesn't even really know what it is either. When she first comes across this thing, she finds it rather strange, and she decides to keep it. But she thinks it's a plant at first. Regardless, she decides to name it Borne. Now, as we push forward just a little more, we begin to understand that Borne is much more than meets the eye. And what unravels from here is just bizarre in the most Jeff Vandermeer way. And it's great, guys. Borne is a science fiction survivalist story when you really boil it down, but it's just filled with all kinds of stuff that'll make you feel, guys. I mean, this thing's got betrayal, but it also has friendship. It has, just people trying to learn and trying to figure out a way to exist in a world where it's trying to kill you. It's touching and scary and all these things all at once. And it will take you on a ride. Okay, so one of the first things I want to get into is the writing style that Jeff Vandermeer has here. For anybody that has or hasn't read Annihilation, that's the only book I really have to go off of from his previous stuff. And I want to say that book blew me away, but it also reads like a fever dream. It is all kinds of fucked up. But now here in Borne, you still get that craziness that you would expect from Vandermeer, and even some of those levels of darkness that he can achieve. But at the same time, man, he's found a way to kind of pinch it back a little and dial it in to where the story just is delivered just like a story should be delivered. You never really feel like you're just in some weird paranoid atmosphere. You feel like you're in the story. And I think that that's a testament to the evolution in Jeff Vandermeer's writing. Now I want to take a second and talk about the characters. But you guys kind of might get mad at me because really the character I want to talk about is not the main character, Rachel. It's not her lover, Wick. It's not even Borne, who is probably the most, just intriguing kind of character that you could create because Borne is just straight up weird bonkers. No. I want to talk about Mord. Man, Mord is what really stole the show for me, and I don't expect everyone to have this. I imagine most people will probably fall in love with Borne. But me, personally, I fucking loved Mord. Just imagining this 3-story tall, flying fucking bear that is just crazy out of its mind, savage, killing fucking anyone and anything. Oh, dude, this creature was just like something out of my nightmares, but gift wrapped as a present. I mean, it was fucking amazing, dude. And it is gnarly. Mord don't hold back. He is a vicious killer, and Jeff Vandermeer will deliver him in nightmarish ways. It is fucking awesome, okay? That's why I'm talking about Mord, okay? How could you not talk about a 3-story bear that's flying? I mean, fuck. Now, I do have to say, with the human characters, there is an element that I really enjoyed. Like I said earlier, this is a survivalist story. So you have these people that really depend on one another, but at the same time, it's like self-preservation is number one. So you do get this backstabbing stuff as well. You will get, because just maybe not the best human behavior because, you're not living in a civilized world anymore. It's very, savage and brutal, which this kind of leads me into Borne. I'll just talk briefly about Borne. While the humans are kind of bringing a savage element to the story, Borne really brings an innocence. Now, Borne will evolve throughout the story, but by all means, when we first meet Borne especially, he's very innocent. And I say he because you don't really know what Borne is, but at the same time, it's almost like dealing with a child. And it really creates almost like a juxtaposition, against the backdrop of this post-apocalyptic world that's falling apart and everyone's just trying to kill each other, trying to survive. And then now you have this little creature that is just innocent and curious and cute. The next thing I want to talk about is just the overall tone and vibe of the book, because if you've read Annihilation, you will know that that's a very atmospheric read, where now Borne is maybe less atmospheric, but it certainly has its tones. It's like a tonal shift, and it kind of hits you repeatedly throughout the story. There is lots of friendship and innocence and just playfulness here in the story, but there's also dark moments of survival and just grittiness. Jeff Vandermeer is not afraid to hit you with some just dark material kind of out of nowhere in a way. Like I said, you'll be kind of in a lighthearted moment and then some shit goes down, and he's not afraid to bring the graphic nature of these events. I mean, you will get the senses of, smelling shit and hearing flapping body parts as they're torn apart by, vicious creatures. This is, like a well-rounded book when it comes to tone. I just think that it's got a little bit of everything. I can't really say this is a dark and dastardly read, and I can't say it's fun and jovial. It's just got kind of the best of both worlds. The last thing I want to talk about is the action in the book. Getting into this with Jeff Vandermeer and reading Annihilation, I mean, wasn't expecting it to lack all action, but I wasn't expecting it to kind of have as much as it did. And there are certainly some moments in here that are very impressive. Without spoiling too much, I'm just going to say, there is a moment in here that is very much like a King Kong versus Godzilla moment, and it is badass. And I'm pretty sure that everybody that reads this book is going to enjoy that part, as well as just the other action that's being played out amongst the humans and the survivalist nature of the story. Now, as far as my 2 cents for the slow and the struggling, yes, I do think that Borne is a book that you can get into. It doesn't have a really large page count. I also think of all the stuff I've read of Jeff Vandermeer. Now it's only 2 books, but still, between the two, I think that this one is a much easier and digestible story for the reader. I don't think he throws so much shit in there that he's going to lose you. It is Jeff Vandermeer, so just be prepared for a cerebral ride, but it's definitely something that you can hang on to. I feel like Jeff Vandermeer gives the reader the seatbelt to the vehicle to keep you from being ejected from the tail. All right, guys, as always, thanks for spending some time down here at the channel, and to Jeff Vandermeer, a gadoosh. 2 thumbs up again, brother. I salute you. This thing was a weird, wild ride, and I definitely am glad that I got to be a part of it. And also, thank you, Mr. Warnock, for delivering such a crazy tale to my doorstep. All right? All right. So, if you're new, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. As always, guys, peace.